It is 6:49. Choke points.
Let's go.
Chris went after the Broadway bad boys, and now we're going to find out if it worked. Tell us about this, Chris.
I'm not sure there were bad boys, but also bad girls as well involved in this. I believe drivers were equal opportunity for flaunting things. I knew Everett was really going to be watching the Friday afternoon commute last week when I received an email from the Public Works Director, Ryan Sass. Quote, "We'll see how we do," what he wrote in a message to me at 11 a.m. If you didn't hear the story last week, the city asked me to help it spread the word about the congestion and bad driver behavior on northbound Broadway on most afternoons, but most importantly, Friday afternoons. The reason? The northbound bridge over the Snohomish River is closed for a 4-month restoration project, and drivers have been clogging every street at the north end of the city to try to beat the delays, which can reach up to 60 to 90 minutes on that stretch of Broadway trying to get you up from the north end of Everett up into Marysville. This was traffic engineer Corey Hurt talking to me last week about what drivers were doing.
Drivers driving around, do not enter signs, road closed signs, taking U-turns where they're, clearly signed not to make them, to gain every advantage they can. We would just like to encourage drivers to, stay on the signed detour routes and stay on Broadway whenever you can and stay out of the neighborhood.
He also encouraged people who use Broadway to avoid the normal backups on I-5 to just stick with the freeway. So how did it go? Well, I got this message early yesterday on the text line from a North Everett resident. It was a non-event. The person wrote, "I arrived home just before 5 and all the streets were empty and clear. A huge thank you to you and Corey Hurt for taking care of business. There were added traffic control reader boards on the freeway and East Marine View Drive. Thank you." Hurt reached out to me on Monday as well. Efforts had a positive impact on travel time, safety, and local street congestion, he wrote. He says there was a vast improvement in conditions. My bus commute that he takes, I told you about last week, improved through the work zone. Travel time was cut in half. So I reached out to Everett Police and this Public Works Department to see how the enforcement went, because that was one big part of this. In addition to begging and pleading for people to drive a little bit better, was the plan was to have a few uniformed officers outside in that construction zone. And I just got a text from Bill in Marysville. He said there were 2 officers out there pulling people over in front of 7th and Broadway who were going through the neighborhoods and things like that. So it worked. So let's make sure this isn't a one-time deal. The northbound span of the Snohomish River Bridge is going to be closed in October into October. There are plenty of Fridays ahead, especially long weekends. You did it one time. Let's try to keep this thing going. So it looks like the outreach worked, and the neighborhood wasn't caught in gridlock.
Maybe just a billboard with Sully pointing and like him looming at the drivers going, "I'm watching you." Maybe that'll help.
I'm kind of thinking the uniformed police officers would probably have a little bit better impact. Plus, they put up a bunch of different signs. They even put up some reader boards on I-5 that said, "Hey, don't go through Everett." And so they replaced all the no U-turn signs and things like that. So it worked, and I'm hoping they will keep that thing going. But yeah, just we don't follow up a lot of times on some of these things, but it did appear to work one time. So we can do it. So we just need to keep it going.
Well, congratulations. You are no longer simply their traffic conduit. You are now their traffic savior.
Well, I don't know about that. I would give that to Everett, not me.
You realize now that your inbox is now going to be stuffed with requests to help out in neighborhoods that are experiencing similar bottleneck.
Well,
I would love that.
Conduit.
That's what I would love
to do it.
Believe me, I would love to hear from people like that too, or in similar situations around construction zones around the region, because I would love to be able to try to get the information out there that what it's impacting the neighborhoods and how you might even save yourself some time by not cutting through neighborhoods or things like that. Yeah, that's why I do choke points. Is to try to make a positive impact out there.
Can we arrange a bat signal for you, or maybe a Sully signal?
What exactly would that look like?
It would look like you be sitting at the microphone projected on a cloud, of which there are many.
Okay. I like it. Who's going to finance that?
I have no idea, but I'm sure
you're the idea man, not the finance man.
That's right. I'm sure the sales department can figure out a sponsor.
You have a sponsor for the Sully's bat phone.
Yes.
But yeah. So again, thank you to all.